Arnold Hexom grew up on a farm near Waukon, Iowa, in the northeast corner of the Hawkeye State. After graduating from 8th grade, he worked on the family farm and became an auctioneer. Along with 3 partners, he started the Waverly Sales Barn in 1947, eventually ending up with sole ownership of the business. These were unkind times for heavy horses. The mechanization of agriculture that followed the war proved detrimental to them, not just here in the U.S., but everywhere. Horses were sent to slaughter in enormous numbers. Even the farmers who had kept that last team were letting them go in the name of progress. Were it not for a few dedicated breeders, a smattering of farmers that dared to buck convention, and the Amish communities, draft horses would have been lost to antiquity. Couple that setting with the fact that the plucky young auctioneer that started a sale barn in Waverly, Iowa, was just 34 years old himself. You have a pretty good idea of how crazy his idea of holding a draft horse sale must have appeared. But that's what Hexom wanted to do, and that's what he announced for March in 1948. Not surprisingly, most doubted that he could even find enough horses to sell, let alone attract buyers for them. But they were wrong. Arnold's hunch, if that's what you could call it, was right. Not only were there buyers for all the consignments, the good ones sold for more than even the most optimistic consigners expected. Almost immediately, Hexom's sale became a rallying point for those enamored by big horses. And it was exactly what was needed to reinvigorate this industry. It did wonders to put heavy horses back into the public spotlight, and the excitement it generated further fueled what can only be described as a renaissance.
The people in the 70s used to buy, they used the horses to work with, parades and stuff. Today it's all show. And you got to know just exactly what you got to do to get them people them kind of horses.
Right now we're just driving, having the hitch here to show off the horses, how they're driving and stuff. Hitch judges are out here, Larry and Jerry, and they're making remarks on how the horses are driving as they see them at that time, backing and swinging and hitching and driving. A big crowd here today, as you can see. There's a lot of people here today, and we'll start here right at 9 o'clock.
They've been on the nurse spreader. It's about the only thing they've been on. They clean the barn with them and stuff.
What is it about Waverly Sale that keeps drawing people back?
Well, I think the antiques that they have out there, the horse-drawn carriages, there's always different stuff there. So I think with all the carriages and stuff that go along with the whole deal, you can come here and buy a harness, you can buy a pretty much any antique vehicle you want. And there's usually some unusual stuff that sells here, anything from bear traps to you name it. And so I think that's what brings people back, as they see a lot of interesting things like that. Plus there's a lot of broke teams here, and there's also show horses here to buy.
So why Waverly, Iowa? Well, the Hawkeye State has a rich history with heavy horses. The sale is here because this is draft horse country. The biggest changes I've seen to the Waverly sale involve demographics. It used to be that many, if not most, of the buyers and sellers were farmers. Today, very few of them are. There are still heavy horses being used on farms, in the woods, and on ranches, but far more are treated as recreational vehicles and are considered hobbies than in the past.
Are you going to get a horse?
Probably not, but then you never know.
Other sales have their own notoriety or reputation. This one just happens to be broke teams.